Okay, hello. This is a demonstration from my good friends Molly and Deke, and for anybody else who's interested in some of the trappings associated with medical cannabis use. In this case, I'm using a regular smoking apparatus. These are simplified pipes or instruments here, smoking apparatuses. I'm kind of going about this backwards for a reason here. These are used and currently in need of a cleaning, which is where I'm actually going to start my demonstration here today. So clearly in this case I'm smoking, inhaling, using a fire to set fire to my herbs, and that leaves a dirty tar and nicotine type of residue in the chamber here. And I actually use a type of filtering here to trap some of the tars. I change this little paper filter pretty much every single time I change the ash out. So it's usually 2 or maybe 3 times a day that I'm changing this out and cleaning the screen that's in the end of this. So that's what this demonstration is for. My friends that are elderly and they've never consumed or been around anybody that consumed cannabis or marijuana as it's commonly known. And so many questions have come up about how you actually use these things that they have no idea what they are, or how to then consume or smoke the cannabis. So I'm not going to give anything here except for the daily cleaning and general usage of what I'm using. So for this character in play, we have my 2 daily instruments. I also use a vaporizer unit, but we're not going to use that for today's demonstration. These are just my general everyday on the go, on the run kind of smoking device. This is actually a piece from my vaporizer unit, and I especially like it because it has this little glass wall in between the 2 chambers that helps hold my little filtering mechanism, which makes it a lot easier for filtering. The things I don't care about are that this is so big. I use this around the house. I don't carry this around with me anywhere. If I am gonna be going somewhere mobile, then I would take this smaller version of pretty much the same thing. It's just a glass tube with a little flared end that catches a screen. These little filters that are in here is pretty much my own devisement. I cut them. I keep a little pouch full of them to use, and it was through much experimentation that I came up with this, which is the ideal I don't think it's fabric, but it's a paper product actually. This is quite vintage paper products, something called ale cloth. I don't know how you would find it now. I've got a little supply of it here that I've been using for some time, but I can get quite a few, several months actually, or at least a couple of months or more, of filters that I cut. I cut one napkin at a time, and I don't know how many I get, but I get a lot of these little squares that I use. And it's just a lot of experimentation that it took me to get to this. Something that doesn't have lint, something that lets enough air but not too much air. And all I'm really catching with this is just any ash, soot and ash that gets by the screen is really the number one reason for this, putting this in here at all, is because if you can see, this is clearly soot and ash in this end. That's what this is, soot and ash from the ground up herb, and then this is the end where I'm smoking from, and you can see a difference. There's a lot of soot and ash there, and then there's very little soot and ash here. I don't know how much tars or any of the other biohazardous things are captured by this filtering apparatus that I came up with, but I do know it gets dirty and clogged quite easily, and so I change it frequently. I used to smoke cigarettes, and you know, you throw the filter away with every cigarette. And I believe the filter on the cigarette probably serves pretty much the same purpose as this. It keeps some of the debris out of your mouth, and it traps a little bit of the biohazardous byproducts here. So the first thing I'm going to do going through this is I'm going to go through some of the tools of the trade. In my case, these are my little pipes. This is just a little stainless steel nut thing that I use to carburate the end of the bowl. That is to dampen the product down when it's alight, so that it's not just continuously burning. And that's what I use this for. It's also dirty, so I clean it as well when I clean these. And some of the things that we're bringing into the game here are just your run-of-the-mill goodies. We have scissors and a brass brush and some sticks and a couple of picks or dental tool type instruments. This is just a little simple pocket plier with a couple of pokey things, as I call them, so that you can do any number of scraping or pulling or holding. In some cases you may have to poke something, and you need various tools. You have to adapt to whatever your object of apparatus is. So these are my tools that I generally use pretty much daily, several times a day over a course of time. I've replaced my sticks a few times. Scissors are pretty essential for everything when you're cutting filters or cleaning pieces. So some of the pieces that I clean may call for something long, and I might use paper towels cut up. These are just your ordinary paper towel cut into some pieces. I generally will cut one towel and I'll have a little bit put aside in a box or something in there. You can use ready-made alcohol wipes that you use for medical things. I use a bottle of regular rubbing alcohol. I also use these cosmetic squares, as they're typically called. This is my choice. This is my choice of cleaning, and I will usually just cut this into a couple of strips like so, and I will have these and use these. I really never use these, but I was just showing that you can. Some of the other things that are more specialized would be the fact that I clean the screen that's in the bottom of this, because I use a screen. Some smoking apparatuses actually do not use a screen. They just have a tiny hole that you use the whole herb pieces instead of ground up. I prefer my way. People generally have to experiment to find what they're most comfortable with. Again, this is just a demonstration of my own personal apparatus and how I use it on a daily basis. So what I do is I'll take a stick, one of my sticks, and I will poke out all my stuff here. I'll poke out the screen, and I'll poke out the old filter, and I'll throw that away. And I then take the screen, and you can see that it is clogged, and you can either A, throw this away and just replace it with a new screen, which these come in multiples in a bag, different sizes according to, again, whatever your apparatus of choice is, and you get the one that fits your instrument, and that's what you will use. Now, that can get quite costly and time consuming to go back and forth and get those. I buy them at a local place. I buy a few packs at a time, but I still recycle the screens for several times before I throw it away. And to recycle it, you simply need in this place we're actually just cleaning it. It's not really recycling, but we're cleaning it. I have these little pocket pliers, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to hold this with the pocket plier, and you can use just your typical